This is Solidarity's SOS episode 1 tower that he built, and I really liked it. I really loved it. Our boy Jimmy is working on his building skills, and it's actually inspired me to try to build this for you and try it myself to see how I do building this tower. And it's actually pretty big. It's a pretty big tower. I can't do the F5 thing anymore. Okay, it's actually a pretty big tower. It's got a rather large footprint, and it goes up. You'll see in the picture that I'm putting on the screen now, and then it comes in by one block, and it goes up some more in a cylinder shape, and then you've got that open air area, and then a pointy top on it. So I'm going to try to rebuild that kind of in my style and see what I can do with it. Now, as you'll see, I've got some blocks here that we're going to use today. He did this in hardcore mode, so it's a starter tower, but where he's used wool, I'm going to use some other blocks just to get the shapes that I want and kind of the texture that I want to use. And I'm also going to use these stone blocks for the base, and he's got some wooden blocks in his, and that's kind of the way I'm going to go with it. Keep it kind of starter friendly, but as you can see back here, these blocks are going to be a little bit harder to get. So as I said before, the tower itself is pretty wide, and so I'm going to bring that in some. I don't think I would build it that wide, so I'm going to bring it in by a few blocks. And actually, I thought about making the tower a square instead of a circle. So I'm going to square this off. So I just brought it in by 3 on all my circle, like all my ends right here. And then I just squared it off, and I'm going to take that away and just kind of make it a square on the bottom instead of a circle. And I'll go ahead and bring all of that all the way up. Cool. Now we got that. You can see here in the picture that Jimmy's got this little crown design around this layer right here. And so we can try to work that up in our design too. I'm just going to play with some ideas and see what I come up with here. So there's a pretty simple little pattern that I worked up across there. I'm just going to work that all the way around the build. And some of you are freaking out because there's no texture. Don't worry, stay cool, man. We're going to put some texture on there. And I think for this next layer, we're going to work a circle into here. All right, this is the circle that I worked up. And I'm going to bring it all the way up with stone because I want that stone to be my background layer when I texture it. If you know what I'm talking about. So far, it's a giant gray blob, but we're going to add some color right here with some of these composters. I'm going to take a couple sections out all the way around like this and add some composters. And then we can start giving this a little bit of detail. Okay, cool. I'm going to add a little trim around the bottom like this. Nothing outrageous, something like that. And then I'm going to put these up here like this all the way around. Just on this block, you go to the middle and go one inside that block. I'm going to bring these up by 3, I think. I am really just building this off the cuff, if I'm being honest. I have not built this out at all. I'm going to add a little more trim up top here. I'm just going to kind of follow that line around on the outside of this, composter, and then above it by a half slab like that all the way around. And I'm going to end up bringing this up by a couple more blocks, I think. So off the cuff, this is what I've got. Got a big gray blob, and I like this trim right here, and I like this right here as well. I think I want to bring it up even a couple more. I want to get more height out of this tower because it is kind of bulky and wide, so you need to add the height to it to give it that sleek shape, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to work out another circle right around here with these same spruce slabs, and I might switch this out. I already think I'm going to switch this out. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with this white block, this diorite. And I'm going to kind of mimic this circle around here, right up here on this layer up here. Kill. Now that I've got this circle mimicking the circle below it here, I'm actually going to bring it out by one more block all the way around like these. Can we do this real quick? Time me. Don't, please don't. Nice. Now we're gonna put a layer under the bottom one. That first layer that we built, I'm just gonna thicken the bottom up a little bit down here where those blocks were. All right, that's gonna give us a nice base for our cone shape. I think I like that. I like it a lot. Now on these middle pieces here, I brought it in by one block all the way around like that, because that's where I want to start working up my cone shape. And I'm gonna do that by gradually stepping it up by 1 or 2 blocks at a time. And I'm gonna do that all the way around like this and keep them even as I go. And I may come back through and like add a block to give it more or less you know, vertical climb as I'm going to make that perfect cone shape. And that is an upside down cone. So I'm going to use this warped wood plank, whatever thingy, and I'm going to bring it across here just like that on this same level. And I'm going to try to work this right up. I'm going to stop just short of the bottom of all of these, all the way up like this. And yeah, I think that'll be a good filler block. And of course, we're going to texturize this whole entire thing as we, you know, finish things up. I always like to start, especially when I'm creative building, I like to start by filling things in and then go back through and texture. I know that's a lot more trouble when you're in survival mode, but when I'm creative building, that's just kind of I want to get my shape right first, and then I want to come back through and fill things in with the texture. Also, I wanted to say filling this section in of the tower roof is kind of the trickier thing to do. Once you get this shape figured out, filling in this area right here, you can do it wrong. Okay, so if I squared this all off like this, you know, and just made it all square looking, that's not what you want. So it does take a certain eye and kind of, you know, and I want to just say this right out, is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and this is kind of like art, and art is subjective, and what you think is beautiful is up to you, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. I'm not here to suggest that at all. I want people to like what they build and enjoy the process of building it, and that's why I was inspired to do this building. I like what Jimmy did with his, and it inspired me to try one of my own. So that's really why I'm making this video, because I thought it'd be fun. So I'm kind of happy with the way this is looking ish. You know, I might cut some of this back a little bit, but I don't want it to look too formulamatic. Is that am I saying words? So I'll come through and add some of these stairs to kind of round this out a little bit. Maybe some slabs at times. Too many, maybe just one here. You know what I mean? Just kind of round it out a little bit and see what that looks like. And once I'm happy with this side, I'm just going to make the other 3 sides look exactly the same. And that's where it is a little bit time consuming, especially when you are in survival doing this roof style. You're hopping around a lot and you're going back over here. And I suggest taking a lot of screenshots if you are just building this out in survival. Actually, I suggest building this in creative first and then trying to build it in survival, because this roof style is a little bit annoying to try to build straight up in survival. So I'm just going to follow through and do the same thing on all 3 sides, and then come back and we'll start to put in the little details of this build. Okay, nice. I've worked on this shape and made it about as exciting as humanly possible, I'm pretty sure. Miss D stairs. Stay in your seats. I know it's amazing. But what we need to do now is go through this and texture it. Also, we haven't added any windows or doors or anything, and this is what we're looking at so far. Not too bad, not too bad. I think the first thing that I really want to do that stands out to me is there is just too much stone through this section. I'm going to start replacing this with wood, is what I'm gonna do. And I'm probably gonna put another trim right through the middle here of some sort, just kind of break up all this stone, and then we'll go through and texture the whole area with our combination of stone blocks. Yeah, let's select a spot right kind of in the middle, I guess, and I'm just going to use this kind of a pattern all the way around like this. It's pretty simple. It's just a slab on the bottom part of the block, and then the opposite the other way. That's a horrible way to explain that, but I think you see what I'm doing. Okay, neato. There's why did I say neato? There's our cute little pattern right around the build like that. I think it looks really nice, and it's super simple. And now we can go through and just add like really long windows down the middles like this. I think that usually looks pretty good on these taller towers like this. Let's just do that all the way around. Does this scaffolding look good in here? We need to start popping in some more splashes of color on this build. It's a little bit gray. Cool, I like it. And it wouldn't even make sense if we didn't do the same thing down here in this section. Okay, there's that. Now let's put a front door on this thing. Center, yes, okay, I think so. And then we'll bring this up. We're gonna make it pretty big. And again, I'm just kind of playing this off the cuff. I haven't built this before, and it's probably obvious. So what we'll do is put some trap doors down here like that, I think. So these might have to go on this backside like that. Okay, right, put them in like that, and then we'll put this block, no, here. I had so much trouble with that. Okay, so that's kind of going to be our front door. No, like, I might spice this up a little bit in a minute, but we need to get this texturing done. I've done some texturing, so I went around and started doing some texturing on this, and I added some coarse dirt and rooted dirt as well, but I used these blocks that we have over here, and I did the larger blotches in the stone brick and mossy stone brick, and then the smaller blotches in cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. Here at the bottom I've got the moss growing right into the building. So I like to do the moss at the bottom and kind of clean it up as I go, kind of. Sometimes you'll see some dirtier blotches, but that's what I've done on this bottom section, and I think that's turning out pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and texture this whole section right here in the same styles. Roy, that's looking pretty good. I like the little dirt blotches. I actually saw Corrales do that last season on some of his builds. Anyway, cool. For this top section, I've got this wool and I've got this stripped warped hyphae. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. But it looks like this is the darker of the two, and it kind of blends up in that direction to the lighter stripped wood. So that's how I'm going to blend this top area. I'm just going to kind of gently ease this in, you know, about like that as we go. And of course I have my stairs in place, and it's kind of a problem sometimes when you're blending, is that you don't have the stairs to replace with the other colors. So cool, that's my texturing done on the top, and I think that's about got it for this build. So let's take a quick look at it. There it is. I see areas that I probably could have done some other things, maybe a darker wood here, maybe a little more transition there, but I'm actually pretty happy with it turned out. And if you'd like to see more videos of this style, let me know in the comments. But for now, this has been King Jammer, and thanks for building with me, and I'll see you later. Bye.